Hi, I'm Sandra, and I'm here with Angela Navarro, an Austin-based artist and painter, and she is participating in our latest exhibition, Pandemic and Resistance. Welcome, Angela.
Hello, hi.
Hi. Okay. So, could you tell us about how you began doing art and what your art education was like?
Um, yes, well, to be honest, it kind of art or like creativity has been always part of our family. It was always encouraged. Um, you know, since I was a child, I had access to drawing and painting materials. And in fact, rather than, I mean, obviously I had toys, but uh, the my very early age, yeah, I was given an easel and then some like paint tubes, and then that is what I spent most of my time doing as a child. Yeah, and then so later on in life, I kind of started to explore collage as a teenager, and then eventually decided to go to study at a fine art school in Valencia, where I completed a bachelor's degree at San Carlos, and then later on. Uh, Finish my studies in Germany at the Bauhaus in Weimar.
Um, so, was that where you first discovered, um, abstract painting and the things that you were drawn to, abstract
Um,
impressionism and the European avant-garde?
Actually, well, yes. The thing is that kind of there's like so much you can write on your bios and and all
Yeah,
those
I know.
things. It's like oh my god, like where am I starting with this? The So yes, since early age, I was a big fan of. I mean, I love art in general. Like uh, I was a big fan of Caravaggio, for instance, like for a long time,
Oh,
and
yes.
but then when I started to study art history, I discovered German expressionism, and then really all the isms after that and before, and I kind of liked the color and the strength of the compositions and lines, but overall was is the color that kind of fills me like the most, um, and um, and I think that that's kind of it's what it inspires me in
Mhm.
general.
Yeah. Is there a favorite artist of yours?
Ooh, favorite. It
I know it's a hard
depends.
question.
Yeah, it depends of the day. I mean, lately I think that I have been looking at Jackson Pollock. Um, I know that obviously like he's very famous for his dripping, but that's not really what what attracts me to him. I think that he again, the lines and the shapes and the forms and the use of the color, like you can really see the soul of this person, in his paintings. I mean, through him, I started looking at Lee Krasner as
Mhm.
well. Um, and then I go from there to this. She's like a Brazilian artist. It's called Beatriz Mijares or Mijares. She makes this like really colorful compositions. They're just like beautiful. So I kind of I like to go from one side to the other, like to something very rough and rugged to something cleaner and more defined, and and the same with the colors. It's I will be bored if I be doing all the time the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So could you talk a little bit about the paintings that you've done for this upcoming exhibit?
Yes, one of them, it's called "When You're a Bird That Can Leave the Tree." I think that will be
Yes.
the one that appears
Mhm.
on the website. I mean, as you can see, like we were talking about the backdrop before. So this is my house. I made that painted without that painting without any agenda, but it kind of it came out from the feeling of spending many weeks at home. At the time, probably was we were already like 3 months, 3 or 4 months in the house. I mean, I do go to the shops, obviously, but it's not quite the same. Like so so yeah, I mean, I kind of I started working on a painting based on what I could see from the window of my house, and then how I was feeling at the time, and then it just came out as this kind of a sort of a creature that is not a creature, it's like
Mhm.
and then I felt that the title had to be very specific to so you know to be better understood.
Yeah. So the title is something you thought of reflecting on your situation and the place that you were creating the painting from. The literal place and the
Yes,
mental place.
basically,
Yeah.
yes, basically, yes. I mean, the thing is that most of the work that I create is very introspective. I think and I hope that it is relatable from the point of view of like from person to person, from human to
Mhm.
human. There is a lot of how to um our perception of a reality and how I experience certain situations. So I think that in that way, like the artwork is relatable, and in this case, I just wanted to make sure that the message that I am like you are, like we're all a little bit like trapped at home at the moment.
Let's see. Oh, speaking of being trapped at home and from of living through an extraordinary time, what are some tactics that you found help you continue creating while quarantining?
Right. Well, at the beginning, it was harder, especially because we. I mean, I have my daughter Simone, and then
Hmm.
we had to do some schooling and all that. So, um, at the during the first month or so, I didn't do any painting or any drawing. I felt that it was better to focus on you know kind of settled in the situation we were, and then take it from there. um, and then once we started to organize ourselves, then I felt at peace, and then it's when I felt that kind of I could like once I had gathered myself together, then I
Yeah.
was able just to put things into a canvas. um, and I just, again, I started without agenda, just using the colors. I felt like without a plan, just thought that it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna get started. If it doesn't go well, I'll paint over.
Yeah.
It's not a you know
Exactly.
so so yeah, just try not to force anything. Stay relaxed. Yeah, just one step at a time, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Now, are there any? You talked about you're colors and how colors are big, like a source of inspiration for you. Are there any particular colors you found yourself using more lately?
Yes. Yeah, actually, black and white, which is strange because
Mhm.
normally my paintings traditionally didn't have a lot of white. It's all been like full up with red, blues, greens, yellow. But I guess that maybe there has been a need to go back to basics. I mean, obviously, the paintings still carry a lot of color, but kind of I felt that uh, I needed something to ground the paintings that I didn't need in the past, and you'll find that there's more darker lines. It has become sometimes more about uh, uh, drawing than painting. There's like a yeah, it has been since the beginning of this year. Really, my paint has become a little bit more rugged. I think there's a tension in the air um, that obviously has been going on for quite some time, but I think that this year, as we started, the virus was something that was already in the news, kind of it was
Yeah.
looming. As far as I'm concerned, I felt that I started the year already with a cloud around, and then and on my work, I went back to um, more of yeah, to a need of like drawing more lines, darker lines, and then also with the need to breathe with a lighter backgrounds,
Yeah.
um, which I had not been using for quite some time.
Back to a kind of a big question. What is one of the greatest challenges you faced in your career as an artist?
I think I am my biggest challenge. I am a professional self-saboteur. Um, yeah, I think it's been mostly about uh, self-doubt and how I have battled that throughout uh, my life, really. Um, Bear in mind that I did study fine art, but after I left Spain and went to live in England, I stopped painting for a while, um, and I thought that my life was just gonna take a different path at some point. Um, so I kind of I think it's me, the one that constantly makes it hard for myself.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. Excuse me. Um, yeah, we have to kind of figure out how to not get in our own way.
Yeah, yes, because often either we are too critical or just not critical enough. Uh, it's
That
difficult to find
exactly.
the middle where you wanna what you are ready to do your best. You know. Um, so yeah, I think it's us.
What do you say to people who don't understand abstract painting, or maybe extend that to devaluing it because they don't
Hmm.
understand um, the because they just don't understand the artistic motivations and the skills behind it.
Um, well, I would say that all art is really abstract. So even when you're looking at a portrait, like a figurative, realistic portrait, you still are looking to a degree of abstraction, because the artist needs to translate it what it sees from reality, uh, through his eye, to a different to the two-dimensional stage of a canvas or paper, or even if we're talking about 3D sculptures, there's still an element of translation. So I think that the way that I see it is that, um, when we look at art, we are kind of there's always a gap between the reality that we understand and we perceive through our eye, and then what we see in the you know, we're talking about painting now, so in a canvas. In abstract painting, that gap is just larger. So
Yeah.
you kind of you as a viewer, you have to reach further to see that reality that is being exposed there. Some people don't feel comfortable. They prefer to see something that they can quickly recognize. Some other people prefer to kind of go meandering through, you know, inside themselves, and then and see how, you know, until they find and they understand what they're looking at. I mean, it's not for everybody, and you could not all abstract paintings are good paintings, the same way that not all figurative paintings are good paintings.
Exactly.
um so I will say, it's not, I would say that it's more about like how much do you want to put of yourself in what you're looking at, and how comfortable you are with it. um Really.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that's a really good way of putting it, that the everything is abstract because we have photography now. That's, from studying art history, that's kind of what started to inspire people to be more abstract because purpose of art changed. But
I mean,
yeah,
the thing is
people,
that
yeah,
perspective is a construct,
yeah,
you know. So we so kind of we so we understand, on paper, what are we seeing in reality, but the lines are not, you know, diagonals, like, you know, which is like it's a made believe.
hmm,
Sometimes an abstract, it's more real than realism, because it could be more like the textures on a painting are actual textures, well, on sometimes on a realistic painting, it's like there's no velvet in the
yeah,
painting. It's it's make to look like velvet. So you know, it's I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
oh yeah,
but I
I know,
I'll see that, I think that it's a I find that for me it's like that's an interesting way to confront abstract artwork. I think that there is always an element of reality. It's just that the steps to reach that point have been taken away.
yeah, that's very true. Just like you mentioned, Jackson Pollock earlier, he said like this is the canvas, and then this is the paint, and that is what you're looking at. You're not necessarily looking at anything else, or what you choose is to see is up to you. I know people have like conspiracy theories about his hidden in his paintings and stuff. Like he was like, it's the paint on the canvas.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, you still have to follow the same rules regarding composition.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and you know, just because you have a dot on the just the one dot on the canvas, it doesn't mean that there's many places where you could have positioned that dot. Like that just reminds me, there is this painting at the it's like a Joan Miró painting
Hmm.
at the Houston Museum of Modern Art, or
Hmm.
and to be honest, I'm horrible with names. I have like a
Oh
mosquito brain.
yeah.
So
I think it's sorry, Museum of Fine Arts Houston,
it's
big
possible.
museum. Okay, it
Yes.
might be that one. They have a couple. Yeah.
So the one with it has a
Hmm.
red spot, a yellow spot, and a black spot. And I love it because that is a very good example for me, as in like how composition works, and how there is obviously a hierarchy in that painting, and how your eye moves around. And then if you would have moved the spots or the colors, or have changed their positions and their sizes, it would just not be the same. And how that tiny black spot there closes a triangle more than anything else. I mean, I just love it. So again, I've I obviously like abstract art because I feel it gives you that freedom to bring yourself into what you're looking.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought of one more thing since you brought up Houston.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Rothko Chapel.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
And it would, again, like Mark Rothko was, it's still one of my favorite
Yeah.
artists. I felt that color is just so inspiring. It's like for me, it's like a physical. I feel like my lungs fill with air when I look at certain colors. Um,
For those who don't know the Rothko Chapel, you go in and it's like a big. Well, actually, it's not. It's not very big. It's kind of a small but tall dome space, and there's all these
mhm,
what first looked like just black canvases of various sizes, and you sit in there for a while, and you start to see like some purples, and I think I saw some reds and different colors appear slowly, but it takes time. And that was impactful for me because actually before I didn't particularly care for Rothko just because I didn't know much about him. I was like, oh, that seems kind of pretentious. But when I went to that chapel, I was like, okay, I get it now. Anyway,
yeah, and
yeah.
that's the thing, is that you have to take your time.
Hmm. Yeah, you do. Okay. So as we talked about a little bit earlier, we're living through a pretty extraordinary time, not only because of the pandemic, but because we're in an election year. There's a lot of quite crazy things have happened this year. So I was wondering what your thoughts are on artists in times of strife and political resistance.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, well, I think that in general, the artists are people, I think, that they have this capacity to create a visual path between common life experiences and our souls. Um, we we revere them because they give us this extra layer, like they unmask messages on things that we just like see on our everyday life. They're the ones with the words that say it better. uh, and so I reckon in these times more than any other times, like the kind of the role of the artist is to inspire, uh, to to make everybody's skin to get the goosebumps going,
Mhm.
and motivate. Um, Sometimes with words, with songs, sometimes there's just images that speak to our souls, and make us to want to carry on and to push further.
Yeah, I think I know that there's many answers to that question, but that's exactly right. Yeah. Well, thank you
A
so
tall
much.
order.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. Anyway, well, thank you so much for talking with me today and sharing your art and sharing your thoughts. I really look forward to this exhibition, and I hope you get to enjoy um, the sunny day over there in Austin. I see.
Yeah, it's getting. I had to put a fan here as
Oh
well. The
yeah,
sun is starting to come in.
that too, but it's still sunny, which is nice. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
good. It's good. We had
Hmm.
so many days of like a just not like a, it was like a all cloudy and
Hmm.
still like hot and sticky, but overcast, and it's like oh, it's like pure misery. It's like it's hot
Oh, I know.
and there's no sun. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. All right.
Okay,
All right.
cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.